Hi and welcome to Reseller News. My name is J Pasini. Today is May 2nd, 2019. Thank you for tuning in. I just want to start off by saying thank you to all the new subscribers who recently subscribed to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. I hope you like the content and you come back for more. I have quite a few windows open up, folks, so without further ado, let's get right to it. Okay, our next story here is from tamebay.com. Let me give you the URL. It's www.tamebay.com. And the story is eBay Stories. Play a starring role in eBay's latest campaign. This story was posted by Chris Dawson on May 1st, 2019. It said, could your business play a starring role in eBay's latest campaign? If you are an eBay lover or a seller with a great story to tell, you could win a professional shoot to record your eBay story and have your business or eBay tale promoted across eBay social media. Here at TameBay, we always love hearing about our readers' stories, so we can be sure to highlight eBay stories here as well as soon as they become as soon as they're made public. I'm not going to expand too much into this, folks, because like I said, I would like to try to keep the reseller news, short as possible. I'm sorry, folks. Sometimes it goes a lot longer than expected, and I do apologize. But it goes on to say here how to enter the eBay stories. It goes on here. It says write a short entry about your eBay story, 700 words max. Submit your entry with your details to eBay Stories at eBay.com. Include your eBay user ID, telephone, email address, business name if applicable. Entries must be in by the 17th of May, and the winner will be chosen by the 17th of June, with the video shoot taking place before the 17th of November. Realistically, probably much sooner. Full terms and conditions are available here. You could click this active hyperlink on here, and you could check it out. It tells you the winning prize. A videography or photography team will either visit you at your business premises or your location of choice as mutually agreed and written between you and eBay to capture your eBay story. And they have a little video over here if you want to put the clip on there. You can check it out. I'm not going to play it right now for the simple reasons, like I said again, I want to try to keep this as short as possible. So without further ado, let us move on to the next story. Okay. Here's the next website here. This is EcommerceBytes, is another one of my favorites. I use this religiously to get all my information, especially when it comes to eBay, Amazon, Etsy, and so forth. I think it's a really great website. You could also sign up for the newsletter if you choose to do so. And I'm going to give you the URL, which is www.ecommercebytes.com. This story was posted May 2nd, 2019. Well, actually, I'm printing. This is the latest. I'm sorry, that's the latest news. This one came out on Wednesday, May 1st, 2019. Sorry about that, guys. It goes on to say here, don't like this one, but it says eBay slips in a fee hike in a spring seller update. And the story was, this is from by Ina Steiner. She is the owner of EcommerceBytes. It goes on to say here, eBay began charging sellers penalty fees in October for excessive claims for underperformance, and in June, eBay will hike those fees from 4% of the selling price plus shipping costs to 5%. The company announced in its April 30th spring seller update. And it goes on to say a little more here. Final value fee increase for sellers not meeting performance expectation. Now, I myself are right now a top rate seller, and I'm most likely going to use my top rate seller status. I think I did a video about that a couple days back. And it's because I'm not meeting that threshold. I know it sounds very pathetic and it's very sad, but if I don't meet that $3,000 sale within a year's time, within a 12-month period, eBay is going to remove my top-rated seller status. But here's what I have to say to eBay in regards to that. I think that's very unfair call on their part, for the simple reason is, if sales are slow, how are you supposed to make it? What am I supposed to do to boost the sales up? I mean, really think about it. I mean, I'm doing everything humanly possible. How am I gonna increase the sales if nobody's buying? See, eBay should change that. And I talked about that in my video. What eBay should do is, when a person does good You maintain, you respond to all your customers' needs. You ship out the 1 day. You offer 30-day free returns. And if you maintain 100% feedback, positive feedback, you should automatically be a top-rated seller. Period. Because first off, when you're throwing numbers like that and they're variables like that, where if you don't make a certain, you don't meet a certain threshold with eBay, they're going to remove your top-rated seller status. That's not fair. That's not fair, because I tried hard and stuff like that. I did everything humanly possible in regards to eBay with that there, and that's not fair, folks. It really ain't. I mean, if you can't meet that status, that threshold, which well, for me, I think that's the standard, the $3,000 within a 12-month period, they want to remove your top-rated seller status. That's not fair. But I don't know if you guys, want to, expand a little on it there. Let me know what you think. I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. If you think I'm wrong or whatever, or, just let me know what you think. I'd like to hear what you have to say. But anyway, I'm not going to expand too much on this topic here, so I want to move right along. But I gave you the URL. If you want to get a chance, check it out. Very good website. It's EcommerceBytes.com. Okay, check it out, guys. Okay, this next story I like is this one was published April 30th, 2019. Facebook Marketplace now without the meetups. I like this here. I like it a lot because I do sell on a Facebook Marketplace. Not a lot, but I do have some stuff posted there, and I like the idea of this here. So let's read a little more into it. It says Facebook is launching a checkout on its marketplace so sellers can reach buyers outside their local area. People will soon be able to ship marketplace items anywhere in the continental U.S. and pay for their purchases directly on Facebook, the company announced at its annual F8 Developers Conference. For sellers, this means reaching more buyers and getting paid securely. And for buyers, this means shopping more items near or far. But it is important to note that sellers can continue to offer local pickup on the delivery method field. Sellers can select FedEx, USPS, UPS, and others, and specify the appropriate shipping rate in addition to local pickup. I really like this a lot, folks. I think this is really good in that regards, because I'll be honest with you, somebody had written back to me in one of my comments on one of the videos, and they said, how do I feel about having people come to the house? To be honest with you, it all depends the circumstances. For example, for me, I'll give you my own example. I have a small car, okay? I can only put little things in my trunk, okay? I don't have a van or, a pickup truck. It all depends on what you're selling. So if you're selling a big item, let's say you're selling an appliance, a refrigerator, or a stove. People sell anything. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing them out there. I don't have a vehicle big enough for that, and to be honest with you, I'm not too worried or concerned about it, for the simple reason is, people are going to come by your house. They're coming by not to harass you or start with you. Hopefully not, right? They're coming there to, conduct business with you. And if you're going to sell something like a big item like that there, and you don't have the means to transport that to that location or whatever. Some people like to meet in parking lots and or police stations. I always hear these things. You may have to have the person come to your house and pick it up. Now, if you are a person that's very fearful of that, and you don't want to have a person come to your house under no circumstances, well then don't sell in the Facebook Marketplace, because right now they're changing that. But if you're going to do something with local pickups, forget about it. Then that might not be for you, because if you're like I said again, if you're fearful of people coming to the house for whatever reasons, I can understand. Then you won't want to go that route. But for me, I've sold a chair, an office chair. I had people come have a person come pick it up. It was a cash transaction. It was a good deal. It went nice and smooth. Nothing was wrong. Another item I sold was a Disney picture frame. The woman came by the house, and she just I handed it to her. She gave me the cash, and that was it. So it all depends. I mean, I know people probably hear these stories. Oh, yeah, somebody comes to your house, and the next thing you know, you're getting stuck up. They're robbing you. Those things do happen, folks. I mean, I'm not saying they can't happen, but in regards to people coming to your house, as far as in regards to when that person asked me that question, how I feel about it, I'm okay with it right now. Okay, I mean, thank God I had no bad experiences with, so I really don't want to put it down. But if you're a person that is afraid of that there, then then this might not be the right route to go as far as that part goes. Now, I don't know if Craigslist is going to eventually pick up on this, but even so, I've seen ads on Craigslist too. People will ship. You got to just put it out there. If you're going to use Facebook Marketplace, even before this was to come into play, you just tell people I ship only. That's all. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. It depends what you want to do. How you feel about it. Me, I don't have a problem with it right now. There are a couple things that I have that are going to have local pickups to it, and hopefully everything will go all right. And if not, believe me, if for those who do follow me, that the type of person I am. I don't sugarcoat anything. I will tell you if I had a bad experience or a good experience with it. But for the most part, don't worry, you will hear from me if something goes down. But for the most part, I have no problem with it. But I do like the idea that Facebook is offering this service like this here. I think it's a good thing. To me, it sounds like Facebook wants to break into the online selling business. Watch out, eBay, Amazon. You're going to have competition. It's just a matter of time, right? You never know. That's what it sounds like. In situations like this, the company may just kind of like ease its way in to see, it's like a trial and test run here, to see how it goes. So let's see what happens here. Let's take it one day at a time. Let's see. So far, I like it. I'm pretty happy with this here. This is good news to me anyway. All right, the next one over here. This one came out April 30th, 2019. eBay and Etsy CEO insists we are different from Amazon. Okay, now these are the two CEOs, one from eBay and Etsy, and it goes on to say here. As frustrating as it must be to always be compared to your rival, eBay and Etsy CEOs were both asked recently their marketplaces were different from Amazon. The two executives had a different response in their respective video interviews. Now, matter of fact, this story here, it's actually highlighted here. You have a hyperlink as well, but I have a little video clip. I'm just gonna put a little clip up there, and you could watch the rest of this here. That story is going to be, I'm going to put it up probably at the end of this video, all right? It's with the eBay. Devin Winnick is going to sit down with CNBC's David Farber to discuss the company's growth and competition. So I'm going to put a little clip up there, and I will give you the hyperlink to it, where if you want to watch the rest of it. It's about 10 minutes long. I'm not going to play, I'm just going to play the clip, kind of like a little intro to it, and you could pick it up from there. But it goes on to say, it's funny, they're doing the same thing here. I didn't know this before. I just clicked this on here, so I didn't really read too much into this here. But it goes on to say here, eBay CEO Devin Winnick told CNBC's David Faber that Amazon's really good at what they do, but there was plenty of room for both eBay and Amazon. eBay is still the number one or number two e-commerce platform in the market world, right? And today, that's how I say it is. I mean, it's in competition with Amazon, of course. Our pricing policies and our velocity is incredibly small. Is incredible for small sellers, which is true. I've talked about that before in regards to selling on Amazon. I am a registered seller on Amazon. I don't sell on Amazon at this present time. For the simple reason is I want to keep my eggs right now in one basket, and in one way is by doing it right now with eBay. The only thing that turns me off with Amazon, to be honest with you folks, as opposed to eBay. With Amazon, you could sell up to 50 items up there. Anything after 50 items, they want you to become a professional seller or something along that line. And it's like they charge you, I think, $40 a month just to be on, to have that there. So anything over the 50 limit, then you gotta, sign up with them and do that monthly thing. And that's what turns me off. See, eBay, they don't have that there. I don't have to worry about selling, if I want to sell 50 items or 25 items, eBay doesn't have a limit, a cap on it. You could just basically do it whatever you want, in that respect. But Amazon, that's the only thing that turns me off with it. But in retrospect, if I am going to sell on Amazon, I will probably just most likely, keep it at 50 to keep my cost down. Because like I said, I'm not making it, if I'm not making enough sales on, with eBay, could you imagine paying $40 a month on Amazon if you're not making any money with it? I mean, that's crazy. That's like throwing money out the window. So for me, that's where I kind of like differ. That's where I draw the line with Amazon as far as that part goes. I will keep it under the 50 mark, and or keep it at 50, so I don't have to pay that, become a professional seller, whatever they have it, whatever they call it there. But that's not for me. But anyway, I am going to play a little video clip at the end of this video here, so if you guys could stick around, you could check it out. All right, so we're going to move right along, and here's the next one here. Are fraudulent returns really a major problem for sellers? This came out May 1st, 2019. It says over here, stories of legendary rocks in a box return. Rocks in a box returns, but are the incidents of the buyers really are returning junk instead of the items they purchased really rampant? Somebody writes into Ina and says, Dear Ina, I was wondering if you had written any articles or investigated eBay buyers that purchase items and then claim the items were not as expected and return junk in its place. I heard stories like that. It says, let's just read a little more. It says, to be more blunt, sellers ships exactly what was posted, and the buyer returns something different, and the buyer gets a full refund, and the person's name is Don. Yeah. I thank God I haven't happened. I heard of stories like this. This ain't the first time I'm hearing about this here. I work for a big company, electronic company, and when they would send stuff out, the things they got back was ridiculous. I mean, they had to take, they had to write losses off because it was pathetic. I mean, the items that was sent, let's say they were sending out a camera, a digital, an SLR camera. They would send it to the buyer, and then the buyer would say, I'm going to send it back, I want a refund. And they send something totally different back there. And it goes back and forth and stuff like that. It's more of a nuisance. And the company I work for, they basically, rather than getting into arbitration with these buyers, they would just basically write it off at the end of the year. That was a write-off. They took a loss on it. Me, on the other hand, I'm a small little seller here. I can't afford to do something like that. So I would have to appeal it with eBay and stuff like that. But when it comes to things of that nature, folks, make sure everything is well documented. If you have something that's expensive, here's another thing too. I like to tell people, or potential sellers, whatever. If you're selling anything over $100, invest the money in signature delivery confirmation. I mean, yes, you're going to have your delivery tracking, but it's always good to have signature delivery. Signature tracking, signature delivery, whatever, confirmation. For the simple reason is somebody at that location has to physically sign for it. Okay, and here's how I look at it. If you're a person that that sends something out, and you're doing your due diligence, and you're sending it to that person with the address and with the signature, so eBay's got to stand by your side. Okay, especially as someone that's signed for it. You know what I'm saying? That it should be an open and shut case in that regards to that there. But as far as like what they're talking about here, I've heard stories like that. But just make sure, folks, whenever you're sending certain things out, I have a thing on there. Anything over $100, I will send it with signature delivery confirmation. So that somebody has to physically sign for it. This way, if a person says, I never received it, well, then you get the proof. That you can say, well, if you never received it, then who signed for it then? You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to physically sign for this particular, this item that they purchased, right? So that should be an open and shut case. And I think by doing that, yes, it's going to, you say, well, it's going to cost me money. You just pad it into the price. Put it with your cost. So if I'm not saying with everything. I'm talking about something that's, well, for example, jewelry, watches, laptops, anything over $100, protect yourself. Now, we all know with the USPS Priority Mail, the standard, the basic, you get $50 insurance automatic. It's tracked and insured up to $50. Anything over that, of course, you got to pay additional. But believe me, if that's another thing too. If you want to have insurance on it, it depends, again, how expensive the item is. It's signature delivery is a no-brainer. That goes without saying. But if you have something that you're selling as $1,000 or $2,000, then definitely get the insurance through the U.S. Postal Service. A little peace of mind. If you have to tell your buyer, I put little things like that, little disclaimers in there that if I'm going to send something that may cost, it's going to cost a nice dollar, I will tell the, I'll leave it in the description that this item is going to require signature delivery confirmation. Someone's going to have to physically sign for this here. This way, you're giving the buyer a heads up and saying, okay, the buyer now is saying, hey, there's no shenanigans here. I'm going to get this item. I have to sign for it, or somebody's got to sign for it. Most likely, it's going to be the buyer. I hope, unless they have it where a relative is going to be at the house, a friend or a relative, and they get the package. And I think that would be acceptable. in regards to that there, because I don't think the Postal Service is going to sit there and ask questions like, hey, who are you? Let me see your ID. I don't think so, because, I mean, I signed for packages that came to my house, and it was for a relative, and I was not questioned. You know what I'm saying? So I think if there's somebody at the premises and the package is getting delivered at that that premises, that should be a no problem. I don't think so. I mean, I never had an experience like that, but I haven't heard of stories like that either with it, So it's always a good rule of thumb to use signature delivery confirmation. Just pay it into your price, that's all. But anyway, I'm not going to get too much in this here. The last one I want to go to as far as that part goes, I did a video, a very brief video. I think it was like 99 minutes long, just to talk a little about. I didn't get too much into the spring seller update. I expanded a little on it, and I gave you the if you followed me, I gave you the active hyperlink to the eBay podcast. And the reason why I did that, folks, is there's nothing wrong with hearing it straight, getting the straight information right from the person himself from eBay. I put the link in there to the podcast for you guys to listen. It's about 35 minutes long. If you got the time, listen to Griff. He works at eBay. He's an eBay employee. For those who don't know Griff, he used to be on the eBay radio, and then his partner there, Lee Marable, she had retired. I think it was either 2017 or 2018, and therefore eBay radio went to be eBay podcast. I think it comes on Tuesdays, because the last time I listened to it, I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe it's just the time I picked up on it. You got to check the schedule there. If I find out the schedule, I will put it in there. I'm not sure if it's once a week or twice a week. But anyway, I did put the link in there for the the spring update 2019 podcast thing there. So check it out if you get a chance, okay? I'm not going to expand too much on this here. This came out April 30th, 2019. And you can see they got some hyperlinks here. Spring seller update is here. Updates for the eBay user agreement as well. If you guys got that, I got that a couple days back. eBay sent me the user agreement, just I guess giving you a heads up, like, hey, this is what's going to go on, and so on and so forth. But you can see here the highlighted things they're going to talk about: seller protection, manage protections, manage payments, growth tools, inventory, marketplace updates. And I think that's basically it. But you could read more into this here if you want. If you check out my video from the one I did yesterday, check the podcast out. Now, I want to just jump to the thing really quick here. I'm going to go play that clip from David Wennick. Okay, so let's get right to it. Okay, our last story deals with eBay CEO Devin Wennick, who sits down with CNBC's David Faber to talk about the company's growth and competition it faces with companies like Amazon. It's a small clip, but I will drop a link down there. You can listen to the rest of it. Here we go.
Of eBay, a little bit north of here in San Jose.
Same general neighborhood.
Yeah, but you're dressing like a West Coast guy.
I dressed up for you today.
They don't even, but you're wearing a college shirt, almost,
Exactly.
kind of. Devin, it's nice to see you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You know what? There was an interesting interchange you had with a gentleman named Mr. Bezos a couple weeks back when he wrote his annual letter. And I want to get your response to what he said. Because he, for some reason, decided to throw eBay in there in terms of discussing the growth in independent sellers on the Amazon platform. And he said, why did independent sellers do so much better selling on Amazon than they did on eBay? And why were independent sellers able to grow so much faster than Amazon's own highly organized first sales organization? What do you respond to that when the CEO of obviously one of the most powerful companies in the world calls out eBay and says, we're growing faster than you are for our core constituency? What is your core constituency?
Well, we had a bit of a back and forth, and I don't think leadership is being in fights on Twitter. I'm busy trying to run the company, but there are millions of sellers that sell only on eBay, and Amazon's pretty good at what they do. So the natural question is, why is that? Why is it that millions of sellers make their home on eBay? And I think that's because this is still the number one or number two e-commerce platform in every market in the world.
Well, that concludes the Reseller News for May 2nd, 2019. If you did get a takeaway from it, folks, and you found the information helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to be updated as to when I post new videos out, please subscribe, like, comment, and share, and hit that bell notification icon. This is J Pasini signing off. Until next time, bye now.